I almost died this week riding a motorcycle in Bangkok. Now, the thing is that the mistake that I made is the same mistake that I see investors making in the markets right now. So, since I've been here in Bangkok, I've been riding motorcycles, and the thing about that is that in Thailand, this country has the highest motorcycle fatality rate in the world, where 74.4% of all fatal accidents involve the motorcycles. So the other day, I'm riding down the road, and I do a little bit of a shoulder check to see if I can merge and change lanes. Now, while that's happening, I missed the fact that the car in front of me is slamming on its brakes. So I look forward, I see the red lights, I hit the brakes, and I stop just in time to prevent there from being a fatal error. Now, in this, I realized something. I was so focused on what was coming next that I wasn't paying attention to the path that I was already on. And that mistake could have actually killed me. Now, what does this have to do with investing? The thing is that crypto, in particular, is much like a motorcycle. Okay, it's the vehicle that we are in. And although it can be a lot of fun, it's also the most volatile situation that you can put yourself in. And it can be extremely dangerous, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Now, second is the environment. What is the environment in which you are playing the game that you're playing? Are you in the company of people who have navigated those roads before? Or are you doing this all alone? Have you sought out guidance from people who have more experience than you, even if they only invest in stocks? Kind of like if someone here drove a car. I actually did ask someone, hey, you drive, what are the roads like? At least he has experience on the roads in Thailand, and that could provide me with guidance. Now, in another way that you could look at the environment is from the lens of what's actually happening in the macroeconomic environment. Whatever is about to happen next is likely going to be dramatic in one way or another. Things are chaotic, much like the roads here in Bangkok. Now, the third thing is the path that I was on. What is actually happening in the data right now? Crypto is falling, but stocks are at all-time highs. You've got the Russell 2000, one of the best indicators, right, to tell us what's going to happen next in markets, at near all-time highs, which hasn't happened since 2021. Really, it hasn't been sustained since 2021. And you've got gold and silver in a completely new paradigm. Now, the most important takeaway that I want you to get from this is something that a lot of investors have never really heard of or maybe don't think about on a daily basis, and it's the concept of the risk of ruin, the mathematical probability that one mistake will wipe you out. There's usually two ways in which this can happen. One is by only being prepared for one scenario, not hedging your risks. For instance, I could have made sure that I had my hand on the brake before I did my head check to make sure that if anything in front of me came up, I was already ready to slow down. Now, the other major mistake that people make regarding risk of ruin is being over-leveraged. For instance, if I had been going too fast. You can be diversified, right? Be prepared for different scenarios, but if you're going too fast, or if you have too much of a position on, if you're over-leveraged, then it doesn't really matter now, does it? It doesn't matter if I'm ready to brake or not if I'm going 100 kilometers down the road. So the big lesson here is the importance of keeping your risk of ruin at zero. Slow down and be ready to put on the brakes or change direction if needed. If we take a step back to once again look at what's really happening in the markets right now, there is a non-zero chance that we have more upside to go across all risk markets. And I honestly don't know that everyone's really prepared for that. In fact, I don't think that people are. I think people are way too convinced in one way or the other, going too fast down the road and not prepared to change direction. Do not put yourself in that position. If you're only positioned for one possible scenario, you need to think about that and see if that's the right thing for you. I mean, really, play it out in your head. What happens if Bitcoin goes to 50K? How would that impact your portfolio? How would that impact your life? What if Bitcoin sprints up to 250K over the next 18 months? Are you prepared to take profits or to rebalance and secure that opportunity as it arises? What if AI takes the US stock market to new highs? What if quantum computers come in and crack Bitcoin and the whole industry goes to zero? Are you prepared for all of these different types of scenarios? Is your risk of ruin near zero? It's Keith D. I'm here to talk about everything money and markets. Trying out something new here. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you're new here, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, be sure to also click the link in the description down below to subscribe to my live show with Ben Levitt, Memes and Markets, where we talk about where internet culture and financial markets intersect. And we go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So with that said, I'll see you next time. Peace.